In a dramatic turn of events, the conditional two-week ceasefire between the United States of America and Iran, announced on April 8, that is yesterday, is already under strain just 48 hours later. Well, what was hailed as a diplomatic pause in the 6-week conflict has quickly become fragile and contested, with disagreements over key terms, particularly regarding Lebanon and the strategic Strait of Hormuz. Peace talks are still scheduled in Islamabad, Pakistan this weekend, but the path ahead remains uncertain as developments evolve rapidly. Let us now shed light on the 5 key reasons that why this ceasefire may fail. Number 1. Lebanon, a key flashpoint. Renewed violence in Lebanon has emerged as a major point of contention. Israel launched intense bombardments targeting Hezbollah positions, resulting in heavy casualties and widespread destruction across Beirut, southern Lebanon and the Bekaa Valley. Iran has cited all these strikes as a breach of ceasefire conditions, arguing that its broader regional proposal explicitly called for the cessation of hostilities across all the fronts, including Lebanon. Notably, the United States of America and Israel, however, maintain that Lebanon was never the part of the ceasefire, creating a direct dispute over the truce coverage. Well, now let us shed light on the key points that we need to remember. Number 1. Israel fired over 100 missiles in just 10 minutes across Beirut, southern Lebanon and the Bekaa Valley. Number 2. Over 180 people were killed and more than 800 injured on Wednesday alone. Number 3. Hezbollah continues to operate in civilian areas, complicating military strikes and increasing collateral damage. Well, all this disagreement has already sparked accusations threatening to unravel diplomatic progress before it can solidify. Notably, Netanyahu's statement, "Lebanon remains outside the truce," is also one of the key reasons. Well, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has publicly clarified that the ceasefire with Iran does not extend to Israel's military operations in Lebanon. Israel insists that its offensive against the Iran-backed Hezbollah is separate from the US-Iran arrangements, and this contradicts Tehran's interpretation, raising the risk of broader escalation. Israel operations continue with targeted airstrikes and maneuver-based campaigns south of the Litani River. Notably, all these deployments reinforce the reality that despite a ceasefire in one theater, conflict elsewhere continues unabated. US officials warn that this is a fragile agreement. Notably, US Vice President J.D. Vance has described the ceasefire as fragile, warning that it could collapse if terms are contested or misunderstood, as Lebanon is not part of the ceasefire according to Washington, and any attempt to extend it to Lebanon is framed as a choice by Iran. And some Iranian claims of violations are being downplayed as misunderstandings rather than actual breaches. Well, the deal's survival depends on both the sides maintaining a shared understanding of its scope, not just battlefield realities. US President Donald Trump signals continued military presence. Well, President Donald Trump has emphasized that US military assets will remain in the region in order to enforce compliance, as forces, ships and aircraft will stay positioned around Iran until the real agreement is fully complied with, and any breach could trigger intensified military action. Donald Trump also reaffirmed that US demands on Iran's nuclear program while stressing that the Strait of Hormuz must remain open and secure. Well, this posture blends diplomacy with military leverage, maintaining pressure as negotiations continue. Strait of Hormuz and market reactions is also one of the key reasons that this ceasefire could collapse, as the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, a critical global oil route, remains uncertain. As only 11 vessels transited on Wednesday, several ships were turned back, and Iran is charging tolls of up to $1 per barrel for outbound oil. And Brent and WTI crude futures rose over 2%, reflecting the market's concern over instability. Therefore, even with diplomatic progress on paper, commercial and maritime actors treat the truce as provisional. tensions are still persisting. While the US-Iran ceasefire was seen as a major step towards reducing conflict and stabilizing markets, multiple factors threaten its durability. As violence continues in Lebanon, disagreements over terms remain unresolved, and US forces are on high alert. As Iran continues to control key shipping routes, both the sides continue to accuse each other of violations, fueling distrust. And with further talks scheduled in Islamabad, that is Pakistan, on April 11, the coming days will determine whether the ceasefire can evolve into a more lasting peace process or collapse under renewed hostilities and political friction. That's all for now. Stay tuned to the Savera for more updates. Do like, comment and subscribe to the channel.